everyone, what's happening? It's Christian Colabelli. I'm the product manager for effects pedals at Eventide, and I'm here checking in with our friend Arun Bali.
Hey guys.
And he is doing the 20 years Through Being Cool tour with Saves the Day. He's been a long time Eventide user, and we're here just basically checking out his board and seeing what is up right now. So Arun, just take us through this.
Yeah,
this magic.
It's a little messier than I normally keep it, but you know, just things have been breaking and I've been shifting some things around, and so the state that it's in now, like I'm probably gonna do a little bit of a redesign, but it's the same basic idea with the same pedals.
Okay.
So when so the board is made by Temple.
Good friend of ours.
Yeah, they're great. Those nice Canadian folks.
Yeah, eh?
And the board, the whole thing itself was wired by my friends at Eastside Music Supply in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
But I can plug in over here, and then the chain goes. It starts here on the hoof reaper, which is Earthquaker devices. It's like 3 fuzzes in one. So you have the hoof, the tone reaper, and then this octave up, which I use constantly. It's so cool. It's just that Hendrix thing with
totally.
the
Octavia.
the monophonic. You put the neck pickup on, and instant band of gypsies.
Awesome.
This is a 1981 Inventions pedal called, I think it's the DRV. My friend Matt Hoops designed that pedal from the band Reliant K, and he's my neighbor, so I went over to his house and he let me check out one, and I love it. It's a clone of a white-faced rat from the 80s, and he made me this cool blacked out casing for it, but it's killer. It's actually really cool. Like, it cleans up really well. I don't even have the gain. I think it's. Oh, that's my. Yeah, I mean the gain kind of lives between 12 and 1 usually.
Okay.
Just kind of depending on how I'm feeling on that night.
Totally. And that's a filter in the middle, or
yeah.
what?
So it's basically like a rat pedal. So
Yeah, totally.
But I've been running it pretty wide open like that.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I might have him mod it to give me more range this way.
Interesting.
We'll see.
That's cool, man.
Make them do things. No, it's a great pedal though. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the Dunes, which is Earthquaker's. It's like a tube screamer. I've always had some kind of a tube screamer, whether it was a vintage 808 or some modern version of it. I used to only use the vintage one, but as companies have gotten better at modeling them, I guess. Mm-hmm. Also, some of the features like the bandwidth and the normal bright, different guitars, different rooms, different settings,
different pickups.
And I actually just run it you can take the diode out, so I have it on the non setting, so it's almost just like a dirty clean boost the way that I'm running it.
That's cool.
This is a Sucker Punch by Greer, so that's I wanted something in my chain that could give me kind of like a JCM Jubilee kind of thing,
right?
Or an old JMP kind of sound, and that thing does it. It's got this. It's got this cool resonance that you get from cabs, like a 412.
Interesting.
And it stacks really well with other pedals. My whole sound is basically just pedals stacking on 2 cranked. So usually some kind of a Fender.
Right.
But for this band, I'll use supers just because.
Essentially a very clean platform, and then everything is accented through this.
And I guess I should say the first pedal, the last pedal rather in the chain is the double rock. So this is always on.
You've had that forever, right?
I've had this forever.
Yeah, man.
And it's first I was using a box of rock, then a distortron, and this pedal, my whole rig is basically designed around this. And what it does for me is so it's last in the chain.
Okay.
Before the amp.
Right.
Before it goes to both amps. I just run it in dual mono. It just kind of makes it feel like a cranked JTM 45 or Bassman on steroids, and I love that. And then everything else kind of stacks on top of it. So this is my main sound. If I want a little extra grit, I can kick on that. If I want that kind of Marshall thing, if I really want a lot more compression, I can go to that, and then just all out, just fuzz, just blowing up the speakers.
Right.
So from there, I go to my modulation.
Okay.
Which would
Makes
normally
sense.
go to this Mel 9, but it recently died. So it just sits there so that there's not an awkward space that I have to look at and bum me out. So, but you know, when it works, it's really cool. I think like just the power jack or something just from travel, like, you know, things happen.
I hear you, man.
I go to the Mojo Vibe, which I've had for years. It's a Univibe, but it's made by this guy Bob Sweet, who passed away some years ago, but one of the best sounding Univibes I've ever heard. And I control the speed with this. So it's kind of like a Leslie sort of thing, and that's a lot of fun. From there, I go to the Kilobyte, which is Caroline's, like a lo-fi delay. And I go between, there's like a setting that I usually keep it on, or I go to like a slap setting, but I use this quite a bit. From there, I go to the H9. The H9 used to be over here, but now I'm using it a lot more for
noticed that, yeah.
I'm using it a lot more for like modulation stuff. So I got like, and other weird reverbs. So like some of my settings here, you know, I just got a trem, cool like CE2, like Boss Chorus.
Awesome.
Space Echo.
Of course.
And these are all just my own approximations.
User presets, right.
Benson,
exactly.
RV3. This I use a ton. I basically just tried to get make it sound like a Phase 90.
Right. You love Van Halen, right?
I love Eddie Van Halen.
Man. That's awesome.
He's the king.
The king.
Electric Mistress, you know, just kind of fun to have. Like, and it's cool. Like some of these, like I wouldn't want a flanger pedal on my board, but it's kind of cool that I can get any of that stuff.
It's the H9 is a desert island pedal.
It's opened up a lot of possibilities. And for me, like I don't really like scrolling through too much stuff, but like the app is super easy to use and connect. And really when I have it set, I don't have to like mess with anything.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You load a playlist in and you're good to go for the.
So I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what, you know, there's, you know, one of these days I'll read the manual. Have you guys come and show me what everything does.
Absolutely.
But just right out of the box though, it's been one of the best additions to my board.
That's awesome, man. Do you notice any tonal difference from changing it in the signal chain to where it was here to a couple pedals before?
No, not particularly. It didn't seem to mess with my gain stage too much.
Cool.
So if I still want to go like delay into a verb, like I could still have like this delay on and go into a verb, but I also have that here now with the tonal recall from Chase Bliss. So this is their analog delay, and then this is their new verb dual channel. I mostly just use it as a plate, just for a big cavernous sound. And I always have, a little bit of spring reverb from the amps.
Oh, no way, man. That's cool. Okay.
So, but yeah, so it's, you know, I think it sometimes looks like it's a lot, but I have like, one of my dumb rules is I have to make it shoulder width.
Right.
You know, so that I'm forced to kind of get the best out of what I can fit right in front of me.
It's really not, it's functional though. I mean, there's guys with boards that are gigantic with, you know, crazy effects that they'll put on like maybe one time throughout the night. I feel like you're really, I mean, just from sitting in the sound check and watching the variance between some of these songs, I mean, you're utilizing those distortion or
and even,
overdrives,
and sometimes it's funny thinking of like we're playing a lot of these older songs that are just kind of like more punk songs. And
I meant to ask you that. Did that influence? Obviously, it must have influenced.
You know, It's funny, like when we played the first show last night, like you know how much I'm still using all of it. So that's good.
That's great.
You know.
And it sounds killer, just so everyone out, great in the mix, really. It conveyed the original vibe to a T.
So I used to have an Ernie Ball volume pedal here, and that recently broke. So, Dunlop had sent me a couple of these guys, and I'm really liking these. So I think what I might do is get one for this here, slide these down, and then I'm just gonna shift some stuff around. I might get a MIDI switcher for these guys.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So I could like do some cool presets between the three.
Right.
I doubt I'll do the looper thing. For me, I like just having to step on the pedals.
That's cool.
Especially like during a show when I go full lizard brain. I just need to,
totally.
You know, so
have it there.
Yeah. And then all that just goes to a pair of super reverbs,
which you've tweaked. Right? Didn't you bypass one of the circuits just to go direct?
Well, so just for these shows, like these are just backline fenders.
No way.
That I just got from, you know, but So these are unmodded. These are just stock Fenders that, I mean, it's pretty awesome that like
Sound great,
the part of the reason I designed the board this way was so that like if I did have to fly somewhere and rent a backline, that would work in front of a couple of supers or a couple of deluxes or twins. And for most every gig I use, I'll have some kind of a Fender back behind me. So so it just works, you know. Have board will travel.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're based out of Nashville, and I heard in soundcheck you're doing a lot of Travis picking stuff. It's pretty cool.
Trying to keep up with some of these guys.
Yeah,
down
man.
There. There's a lot of monster players there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's influenced your playing in any way? Just
absolutely.
Being down there?
Yeah. I think one of the reasons I moved down there was that I wanted to be just surrounded by that, like constantly.
Yeah.
Being around players that just make you want to go home and practice, and that happens.
Totally.
Yeah. I was at the Ryman Auditorium and saw Jason Isbell and North Mississippi All-Stars.
Killer.
And so those are two, couple of guitar players in those bands that can just wail. And it was so inspiring to watch. So like, yeah.
Jason's killer too.
Yeah,
man.
he's a great dude.
Amazing.
But yeah, it's great to like be around that all the time.
Totally.
You're always just, I might not play country stuff, but I like what that playing has done for my guitar playing.
I totally get that, man.
Yeah.
It's just like osmosis. It comes out in weird ways that you don't
Yeah,
realize.
totally. And I just try to crowbar country licks and slide lines and Saves the Day songs.
Yeah, man. It works though, dude. It really
I appreciate
does.
that.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
I try.
really- it's killer.
When it does work, and sometimes it.
Totally.
But yeah, it's a fun little. This is a fun little rig.
We love it, man.
Thank you.
We love having you as an artist.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. No, I've been a fan since I first heard. Like I was telling you, I heard Passion and Warfare as a kid, and I was like, what is he making all those guitar sounds with?
Yeah, man.
And then I learned about the H9000, or it was 6000 back then.
I think that was actually
3000.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
I don't know, 9 now. Oh, all right.
Check out the H9000.
Yeah. on a normal tour, I'll bring out 4, 5 guitars maybe. On this one, just because we flew out, I just brought 2, but this is the one I've been mostly using for most shows, and it's a 64 American vintage Tele, made a few years ago, and I did a bunch of mods to it, like added the pickguard.
Yeah,
these are
cool.
Lindy Fralin stock Tele pickups. He's actually making me like a really cool custom neck pickup.
That's cool.
Soon. That's going to be kind of Strat-like and have some other cool custom stuff, but I'm excited about that. But his stuff is super great. The bridge is from Mastery.
Wow.
Yeah, they made this cool,
crazy.
like the whole tray, which I thought was really hip.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it just has like a really good like resonance to it. Like just the action always feels really good.
Look a little more true with intonation.
Yeah,
probably, too.
the Bigsby's, I love the Bigsby.
Yeah,
That was the other
awesome.
cool thing, was that they made the tray. A lot of times when you see a Bigsby, like it won't have these trays. It'll be like a flatter.
Yes,
So I
absolutely.
kind of like that.
Right.
So yeah, I love this guitar though. It's
That's new, right?
yeah, it's been just kind of the nitro finish didn't really bond with the wood very well. So I actually might refinish it, the same color but just more of a
Gotcha.
true to like 60s nitro kind of
Right.
like lacquer or something. But yeah, so that started happening.
That's cool,
But
man. That's
whatever.
Road Warrior.
Just a guitar.
So wait,
Yeah, so
gotta look like
yeah,
it's
it's
played,
cool.
right?
Like, I like that it like at least it's all from stuff that I did to it.
Of course.
So and I named it after my late cat Sophie. So it's my guitar, Sophie.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Again,
Thank
Arun,
you.
It's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're gonna visit with Arun.
See you guys at a show.
Definitely. Go check out Saves the Day on this tour. Like I said, in Soundcheck, they're absolutely killing it. Through Being Cool, it's like just an inspirational record. And they're a great band, great bunch of guys. So thank you again, Arun.
Thank you.
We'll catch you on the flip side. This is Christian. I'm out.
Shine